How's it going, everyone? This is Kurt, one half of the Top Rope Renegades channel here on YouTube. I was given a fantastic opportunity by my employer, 93.1 WIBC, local radio outlet here in Indianapolis, Indiana. I was given the chance to have a conversation with AEW rising star Skye Blue. We had a fantastic chat about when she got into the professional wrestling industry, some of the fantastic women she has shared the ring with, and of course, we talked about AEW Dynamite coming to Indianapolis, Indiana on April 17th. Hope you guys enjoy this conversation with AEW star Skye Blue.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is Kurt Gearlds with WIBC. I am joined on the line by AEW star Skye Blue. Skye, how are you doing?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Doing fantastic. Thank you so much for joining me here. I really appreciate it. I did want to mention I've done many interviews, but you are the first professional wrestler I've got to interview, so thank you.
Oh my gosh, hell yeah, of course. Thank you for having me.
Of course. So I wanted to educate the people real quick on you. As I said, Skye Blue, you're from Chicago, Illinois, 24 years old. When did you start wrestling professionally?
I started in 2017. It was the spring break of my junior year of high school.
So you've been going, so you're 24. Yeah, I've been going since you were 18. I did have in my notes you made some rounds with Ring of Honor, NWA, and of course the indie scene. I read that you debuted technically in AEW in April 7th, 2021, and then officially became All Elite, as they say, April 7th, 2023, so 2 years later. Is that correct?
I believe so, yes. I was an extra in 2020 and 2021, and then I got the graphic in 2023, yes.
It's fantastic. I do remember watching. You made your first pay-per-view debut. Was that in Chicago, your hometown? How was that?
It was surreal. I did not expect it, and it was like at an arena that I had been to for shows before too. And I got to have my parents there and my other family, so it was really cool. There is pictures of me walking down the ramp looking like I'm beyond nervous about to throw up. But it is one of my favorite memories with AEW.
Is there anything that could truly prepare you for that moment? Was there anything you did backstage before your music hit and walked out that just got you in the zone? Or was it just, you know what, I'm going to take it all in?
It was a little bit of both. I was just trying to keep myself calm and make sure I didn't mess up. I was so scared. I was I don't want to mess up. It's my first big thing. But I was trying to keep myself calm. But then once I hit the ramp and I saw just how many people were there, I was just it was just whoa, I'm actually doing this. This is my real life right now. So it was very a holy crap, I did it kind of moment.
So growing up, you from Chicago, what was it that caught your attention with professional wrestling that got you into it and you're like, you know what, I'm going to do this as a career?
So I always watched it with my family. My parents were obsessed with it. They still are. And I remember I was sitting on the couch with my mom watching, it was a hardcore match of some sort. And I looked at my mom, I was like, hey, I'm going to do that one day. And she said, no, you're not. And that was just kind of my cool, now I got to prove you wrong. And once I started training in the ring, I absolutely loved it. I fell in love with it. And a lot of people because I was the only girl at the original place I started training. And I could definitely tell that they were oh, she's going to burn out. Oh, we're waiting for her to drop out or whatever. And I kind of took it as a challenge. I was I want to be as good as the men. I want to show that I'm not just a pushover. I'm not going to quit. I want this, and I was very determined to get it.
And you really did. You have caught on quick. You're 24 years old. You're one of the fastest rising AEW superstars right now. You've had matches against, just to name, Britt Baker, Thunder Rosa, Jade Cargill, and you had the match with Toni Storm for the AEW Women's Championship. What did that match mean for you, the match against Toni?
I've had a handful of matches against Toni. My first match for the title, I was able to bring my mom and have her front row for the match. So that meant the absolute world to me, that she got to my parents would go to events and, like, go watch their favorite stars on TV and whatnot. And then my mom being able to be front row there and to say that her favorite is now her kid and, like, doing what I love is the coolest moment ever. And, like, I remember being in math class and I would watch Toni Storm matches and I would be like, oh my God, I want to be like this girl so badly. Like, I thought she was, like, the coolest person ever. I loved watching her wrestle, and the fact that now I work with her and I wrestle her and I see her weekly is, mind-blowing me. I never thought I would be in this position ever. And I love wrestling her because I feel like every time we wrestle, it's never the same match, and I feel like I've learned so much from Toni, so I'm just super grateful for being able to wrestle her.
Is there anyone on the AEW roster that you haven't had a match against yet that you really, really are looking forward to?
I have not had a singles match with Sheeta.
That's a good one.
Yeah, and then obviously Mercedes Moné. I would absolutely love to wrestle her. I think for the most part, though, I feel like I wrestled almost everybody. Those are the two that stick out in my head the most at the moment, though.
So I was going to just kind of, I guess, peel back the curtain a little bit with this. When you debuted in AEW, you were considered what they call a quote-unquote baby face, and now what they're considering you as a quote-unquote heel. I wanted to ask, which one is easier to portray, or which one do you prefer to portray? Is there a certain one you like more than the other?
So I don't think either is, like, quote unquote easier. I feel like you just have to, you have to know how to do both in this industry, because you never know what, each promotion or whatnot is going to need or want. So I loved the opportunity of turning heel because I had never been heel in my career thus far until now. So I was very excited for the opportunity to learn, and especially to learn in the environment that I'm in with, like, there's so many amazing people around me that I can learn from and ask advice and get feedback from. So I was just very excited for the opportunity to, like, try something new, and it seems to be going really well. I really enjoy being heel. Kind of feel like myself, just a little bit sassier. But yeah.
Before we get to AEW Dynamite, which is coming to Indianapolis on April 17th, you main evented AEW Rampage 2 weeks ago in a street fight tag team match. And personally, I watched it and I was blown away. I thought all four of the women in that match killed it, but you stood out to me when you hit your finisher, the code blue, on the announce table. And in that moment, I told my buddy I was watching with, I said, that might be one of my favorite wrestlers now, just because of that move. What did you get inspiration for the Code Blue? Because I know of an individual named the Amazing Red who does the Code Red. Was there any inspiration from him in that move?
I've definitely, watched his matches and whatnot. And when I was, coming up, it was very hard to come up with moves that I could do because I am short and I am pretty small. And training with men, it was I couldn't, let me pick you up and powerbomb you or, whatnot. And it was just one of those moves that I, as a smaller person, could hit on bigger people. And I don't know how I came up with the way I got into it. I kind of just did it one day, and everybody was like, that's really cool and unique. You should do that. So I kind of just stuck.
It looks, you do it so flawlessly. It looks smooth. What did it mean to you to main event Rampage in that match with those other women? I've been obsessed with street fights and, death matches, hardcore matches and whatnot. I, growing up as a kid, I loved watching those. I just thought, climbing a cage or, going through tables and the ladders and the blood and the tacks. I was, as crazy as it probably sounds, I was super obsessed with it, and it made my mom cringe every time. So that probably was the cherry on top. I was like, ooh, I can make my mom, all anxious as a teenager. This is great. So the fact that because I remember there were months leading up that I was I would do interviews or podcasts or whatnot, and people would be like, oh, well, what's your dream match? And I would always say a street fight or a hardcore match, because I've done them on the indies, but I had never had the opportunity to do them on TV. And
when they said that it was happening, I was ecstatic. I had so many ideas. Like, I brought weapons with me. Like, that's how excited I was. Like, I knew that, and being on the same, like, show, because it was Dynamite and Rampage were, like, back-to-back. Mm-hmm. So, like, being in the same time spot as, like, Adam Copeland and Christian Cage doing an I Quit match was mind-blowing, A. But, like, the fact of, like, we still wanted to stand out and show them, like, hey, the girls can do it too. We can do it just as good, if not better. No offense.
I thought you guys knocked it out of the park. It was a fantastic match. And I did want to, we're going to get into Dynamite right now. I have one more question. You have a partnership with Julia Hart right now. I know everybody, if you look at the internet, says AEW has too many titles, but genuinely, would you have any interest or be excited if there were AEW Women's Tag Team Championships?
Oh, 1,000%. Yeah. I feel like we have a lot of women's tag teams in our division. Like, as of right now. So I feel like it would be a very cool addition. Obviously, you know, you have to, like, do more tag matches, have the opportunities for all these women to do these matches and whatnot. But I think one day, like, no rush or whatnot, everything, but one day I think it would definitely be fitting.
I could definitely see it. So April 17th, AEW Dynamite will be coming to Indianapolis, Indiana at the State Fair Coliseum. You can get your tickets right now if you search up AEW tickets. If for those people here in Indy that maybe don't follow professional wrestling, but they want something to do, come out and watch, what kind of experience are they going to get at an AEW show?
I think it is definitely different than any wrestling show that you normally have been to. A lot of us love interacting with the fans, and we just want to go out there and, like, do our best and put on a great show for everybody. And, like, what I've always said is I am beyond happy that, like, I get to do what makes me happiest and what I love, and by doing that, it puts smiles on other people's faces and is their happiness or their escape from real life. So I think something just kind of like that, like, you're just going to experience, like, a little escape, and you just get to go have fun and just, like, forget about real life and just enjoy our goofy asses wrestling.
Yeah, so April 17th at the State Fair Coliseum. You can get your tickets right now. And this is also the final Dynamite before the big pay-per-view event Dynasty taking place in St. Louis on April 21st. Do you have any idea, you know, how much does the quote-unquote go-home show mean leading into that pay-per-view?
I feel like the shows right before the pay-per-views are definitely super important because, you know, it's the last time, like, that TV will see the stories and how everything has progressed to the point of a pay-per-view match. So I think it's, like, super, like, you just kind of understand that why everything at the pay-per-view is happening. Like, it's like explains everything so that everybody understands, kind of thing.
So thank you so much, Skye, for joining me. And then real quick, I was told you're on your way to Indianapolis right now. Are you taking part in the Squared Circle Expo? Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah, I will be leaving here in a couple hours. I'm super excited. I'm wrestling Alex Zane, so it should be really fun.
Yep, I saw that too. So thank you so much, Skye, for joining me. I really appreciate your time. Have a safe travel to Indianapolis, and I will be attending, actually, my first AEW Dynamite live show here in Indianapolis. So I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm sure you guys are going to knock it out the park. So once again, thank you so much for your time.
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.